Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the JP Football Podcast. I am your host, of course, Josh, and today we are going to be having a little bit of a match preview for Everton's next game. It's going to be against Huddersfield Town tomorrow in the EFL Cup, also known as the Carabao Cup in England. And we will be entering the second round against, Huddersfield Town. So we're gonna do a little bit of a match preview on that today, and then I also got a couple of Everton rumors transfers to talk about today as well, because as we know, the transfer day deadline, it's coming up, and again, saw some rumors today, and I'm just going to talk about how I feel about them. So anyway, let's jump right into it. So match against Huddersfield Town in this cup. Everton need to take the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, seriously. We haven't won a trophy in the past, what is it, like 20 years, it seems. It's not even an exaggeration. I literally don't think we've won anything in the past, like 20 years or so, or some crazy statistic like that. So the Carabao Cup, we need to take this seriously. We did last season, we made it all the way to the quarterfinals until we got knocked out by, Manchester United, I think it was, which is, unfortunate, but it is what it is. But again, we just like last season, we need to make a deep cup run. We need to just try our very best to make it to this final. I really hope Rafa Benitez takes this cup very, very seriously, because I would love for Everton to win something, a trophy, anything, EFL Cup, I mean, we're not winning the league. We're not going to win the league. So the next best thing on the table for us this season is this EFL Cup and the FA Cup, which for us should start up in January. So we're not even going to get into that, because that is months ahead into the future. But anyway, yeah, we're playing Huddersfield Town at their home stadium, which is like, it's called the John Smith Stadium, something of that matter. I'm a little bit nervous for this game. I know Huddersfield Town got relegated not that long ago, and they're in the championship side. But again, championship sides, there always tends to be a couple of upsets in cups when it comes to championship sides, especially in the early stages of cup games. And this is a big opportunity for Huddersfield to upset Everton. I'm sure they're gonna have a full house at their stadium. And I really don't like away games this early in cups, or just away games in cups in general. But Huddersfield are gonna come out with passion. They're gonna come out with a lot of heart, I assume. And they're gonna make it a fight for Everton. They're gonna make it a dogfight for Everton. I'm sure they're gonna play their strongest team, whatever that may be. To be honest, I don't really know anyone on Huddersfield Town ever since they left the Prem. I really don't know. I mean, does Danny Ward still play for Huddersfield Town? Does Juninho Bacuna still play for them? I don't even know if those two still play for them. Those are the two that came closest to my mind, but they may be off somewhere else. But yeah, so I'm nervous for the game. I really am, because it's just one of those things. It's Everton. I'm going to say that, all season long, and for the rest of the time on this podcast channel, you're going to hear me say it's Everton a lot. And it's a saying among Evertonians. What does it mean? It means it's Everton. Evertonians will understand, and I'm sure football fans around the world who know Everton will understand as well what that means. It's just Everton. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop saying it for now. But anyway, so for Everton's starting lineup against Huddersfield, I don't believe we'll go all out with our potential strongest 11, because our first team players do need rest. We just had a game a few days ago against Leeds, which ended 2-2. If you didn't see my match reaction to that, along with the transfer rumors over there, go and check that out. But yeah, so I think that starting in goal, Asmir Begovic will start in goal for us. I believe the back four, I think it's going to consist of Lucas Dean. I don't think we should replace Lucas Dean at all. Because, for this game for Everton, we'll throw in some second team, maybe some third team players, but have still a decent amount of first team players in there, because, again, I need to win this game. don't want to take too many big risks, don't want to make too many changes in the side. So Lucas Digne at left back. I think John Joe Kenny will start at right back because Seamus Coleman definitely needs some rest. And oh yeah, by the way, we still haven't found a new right back, so that's great. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so there's that. I really hope Ben Godfrey starts at the center back position. I really hope Ben Godfrey gets in there. And I don't think Yerry Mina will start. I don't want to see Michael Keane start. I really don't want to see Michael Keane start. So I'm just going to say Mason Holgate over him. So Holgate and Godfrey being the center back partnership, because I just don't want to see Michael Keane start. As far as the midfield goes, I want Abdoulaye Doucouré to step in there. I think Alan needs a little more rest than Doucouré. So I want Doucouré in that midfield running things as usual. And alongside Doucouré, I would really like to see Jean-Philippe Gbamin. I think it would be absolutely boss if he came on and he just did his thing against Huddersfield. You know, he looked really amazing. Well, maybe he looked great. He looked really great in preseason training, and he's just getting back from literally like two of the worst injuries in football you could get. Like, I mean, he's went through injury hell ever since he's joined us. And I really would just like to see him get back on his feet, be the player we all know he can be. We're all rooting for him. We all want Jean-Philippe Gbamin to succeed, arguably more than any other Everton player, solely because of the injuries. It's really, really sad what's happened to him. So I really hope Jean-Philippe Gbamin starts alongside Abdoulaye Doucouré, because I think they make a really good partnership against Huddersfield. For the other midfielders or wingers, well, no, midfielders, I don't think we'll play a 4-3-3, more like a 4-2-3-1, something like that. Andros Townsend, I think Andros Townsend will get the start, especially after only coming on for, not that long against Leeds. So I'd like to see Andros Townsend start. I think Damari Gray will resort to the bench. And I think we're going to start Alex Iwobi as well. I think we'll probably play Iwobi in the middle. He's going to either play in the middle or wide, but I'd prefer Iwobi to play in the middle. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. Alex Iwobi has been fine his last, 2 games for Everton. He's made an impact. He actually has made an impact, which is fantastic for Iwobi. And if he continues to keep that up, I'm sure Everton fans we'll start to slowly, it's going to be slow, but we'll slowly but surely start changing our mind about him and thinking, well, hey, you know what? Maybe Alex Iwobi is a decent enough squad player to stay. Maybe we don't need to sell him. Although, don't get me wrong, if an offer did come in for Alex Iwobi, I definitely would sell him. But that's that. So I think Iwobi will start, and then who would start on the other mid? Richarlison. I want to see Richarlison start. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Gordon stepped in and started, but again, I don't want to make too many changes. So I would love to have Richarlison start because he's always good for a goal, and he would definitely give Huddersfield problems. And then in the striker forward position, Moise Kean, I 100% think and believe that Moise Kean will be starting this game. I think Calvert-Lewin will resort to the bench because, again, Moise Kean, he came on for 3 minutes last game. You should be fit, Moise Kean, and he should score against Huddersfield Town. I mean, played for PSG a decent amount on loan last season. He was scoring against big clubs, so having a go at Huddersfield Town shouldn't really be a problem for Moise Kean. So I think this is a really good opportunity with him, along with the rest of the second team players that don't tend to play as much. Well, so far this season, we'll see what kind of injuries come our way. And when I say that, I don't mean to sound negative saying, oh, we'll see what injuries come our way. But I just think that someone key, I think someone key for us might get injured this season because it seemed to happen over and over. And, injuries are part of the game. And that's the worst thing about football, the injuries being a part of the game. So again, but that's why I'm saying this is a good opportunity for those players who don't get as much playing times as the first teamers, because if one of the first teamers goes down, then we can be like, hey, that fella right there, he's been playing quite well, whether it be a cup or coming in against a lower sided team in the Premier League. So, hey, maybe he can do the job. Maybe he'll step it up. Nothing to worry about here. So yeah, that's who I think Everton. That's who I want. And I kind of think Everton will start and play against Huddersfield Town. Again, I don't know too much about them. I think they're like 10th in the championship right now. But again, championship is only, 2-3 games into their season. So that's all I got to say. As for the final score results, Everton should win this game 2-0. I'm going to say Everton are going to win 2-0. The goal will be scored by Moise Kean. And then who else? Townsend. We'll just go with Townsend. Moise Kean will get a goal. Andros Townsend will get a goal. And, we'll win 2-0, hopefully, and move on to the next round of the EFL Cup. And, that's all I really got to say about that. So anyway, moving on then from the match preview against Huddersfield Town, I saw and read a couple of Everton rumors today. Let me bring you the first one right here. I wrote it down, so I made sure I didn't forget it. So apparently, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, the best team in the world at the moment, see Richarlison as a replacement for Mbappe. Yeah. So basically, here's how it's looking. PSG are really worried that Real Madrid are going to come in for Mbappe and make a bid for him. And if Mbappe does leave to go for Real Madrid, which again, I don't believe is going to happen this season. Will it happen next season? Probably, but not this season. They believe, according to RMC Sport, they believe that if Mbappe leaves to go to Real Madrid, they're looking at and they want to bring in Richarlison as a replacement for Mbappe. Now, I don't know if I could see that happening. I mean, I know Richarlison was linked with big clubs last time around. Wasn't he linked with Barcelona? Not, last time around. Remember that rumor he was linked with Real Madrid too at one point? Well, but that was only due to Ancelotti. And now he's linked, to PSG. Well, I don't really see it happening. Now, granted, Richarlison would be great for PSG. He would be amazing, playing with those top class players, and he'd be, Richarlison's just class himself. And plus, if Richarlison did go to PSG, he would be reunited with Idrissa Gana Gueye, who, by the way, Idrissa Gueye has been fantastic for PSG ever since he's joined. He scored a screamer in their last game against Brest, was it, or something like that? Yeah, he scored a screamer. Now, granted, the Brest goalkeeper should have done much better, but hey, props to Idrissa Gueye for that. But I don't really see it as too much of anything for Richarlison going to PSG, especially with 7 days left in the transfer window. I don't know if that's worldwide or EPL, but no. Look, guys, Richarlison's not going anywhere this season. He's not going anywhere this season. He might go somewhere next season, but again, if we do good enough this season, hopefully he'll stay. And if we ever did have to sell Richarlison, and by the way, I'm wearing his jersey right now. This is a Richarlison jersey I'm wearing right now. But if we ever did have to sell him for no less than 90 million to 100 million pounds. Yeah, I wouldn't take anything less than 90 million to 100 million pounds for Richarlison. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, another Everton rumor for today is that apparently Everton are interested in 18-year-old forward Daniel Jebbison from Sheffield United. Does Daniel Jebbison's name ring any bells for you, Evertonians? Because it should. Remember that fella last season for Sheffield United, came on for his debut and he scored against us. That's right. Daniel Jebbison has only made 4 to 5 senior level appearances. And on his debut, he scored against Everton. I mean, this is getting ridiculous. If I'm being completely honest, again, there's this saying. I don't know if it's really a saying, but Everton fans definitely know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about listening to this. But if we're playing a team, if Everton are playing a team, or if you're a forward, specifically, if you're a forward or a striker or someone making your debut for your club, there's no team that you want to play against on your debut other than Everton. Everton is the team that you want to play against because we're just handing out debut goals, to get your career right on track and started like it's nothing, like it's no other, again. And if you need a goal, play Everton. We're oh, hey, it's Everton hey, is anyone making their debut today? Yeah, him. Oh, okay, all right. We'll give you a freebie. We'll give you. It's ridiculous. You don't believe me. This Daniel Jebbison guy scored on his debut against Everton for Sheffield last season. Don't believe me again. 2 weeks ago, Adam Armstrong making his debut for Southampton. Gets a debut goal there against Everton. Still don't believe me. Last season again for Fulham, Josh Maja scored 2 goals on his debut against Everton, I believe it was. So there, Josh Maja. Do I need to keep going on? No. I'm not going to keep going on. But anyway, yeah. If Daniel Jebbison sounds familiar to Evertonians, that's why it sounds familiar. He scored on his debut against us for Sheffield. And I think, did we lose that game? I don't remember us winning. So we actually either lost that game or we tied. Anyway, regardless, apparently we're valuing him at around £5 million, according to the Liverpool Echo. And apparently Rafa Benitez thinks that he can mold the Canadian striker into something really special. Now, here's what I got to say about Daniel Jebbison. I don't want to be too harsh while saying this because the last forward striker we got from Sheffield United ended up being Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and look how great he has turned out for us, okay? But I don't want Daniel Jebbison at Everton, okay? I don't want him anywhere near the first team. I don't even want him anywhere near the reserve team. Well, maybe that's a bit hard, but look, no, I don't want Daniel Jebbison. I don't want Everton to sign him. I mean, look, some people say, oh, he's a young forward, he's cheap, but he's barely made any real appearances for Sheffield United. And if anything, I think if Daniel Jebbison joined Everton, this is what would happen. He'd play for like the U18s or U19s, then go to the U20s, U23s. He'd basically be in our academy system for, a season or two or a couple seasons, depending on how long we actually would keep him if we signed this guy. And I just don't think he would actually ever really get a first team breakthrough because trust me, he's nowhere near good enough to play in our first team now. We don't really need him, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, I know he's cheap, but we can't be wasting money whether he's cheap or not. I mean, £5 million for Daniel Jebbison. Are you kidding me? Everton should pay no more than like £1 to £3 million for Jebbison. 3 million is pushing it. All right. 3 million for Daniel Jebbison is pushing it for Everton. I don't want Everton to sign him at all. I think it would be a bad investment of 3 million, £5 million. Like, what a waste. We got Demario Gray for like 1.5. Okay. Like, no. And he's nowhere near. And I know people say, oh, well, he's a young prospect. Is he really, though? I mean, is he really? What has he done for Sheffield? What has he done? Nothing. Dominic Calvert-Lewin did way more for Sheffield, by the way, than Jebbison. Just saying, when we got him. So, yep. Just going to leave it at that. And by the way, Sheffield fans didn't like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They were not. A lot of them weren't fans of him. I remember when his transfer was going around, they were like, oh, I'll drive him there myself. So, yeah, they weren't the biggest fans of him. And yet, he's still done more for them. So, again, no, I don't want Daniel Jebbison. I really hope this rumor, again, is just a rumor and it's not necessarily true. No, would be a waste of money if we got Jebbison. And the last thing, Thierry Small, that left 17-year-old, he's 17 now, left back, has left Everton. And apparently, according to the Secret Scout, Southampton are actually set to sign Thierry Small, which I think would be a fine signing for Southampton because they're going to need all the help. They're going to need all the help they can get this season because I do believe they're going to be fighting a relegation battle. They lost decent key players on their squad. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe Thierry Small will come in. Maybe he'll get some first team football. I don't know. Maybe he'll just be in their academy as well, which would be really ironic. But yeah, honestly, good riddance, though, from Thierry Small for Everton. He clearly seemed he didn't want to be here at all. And again, if you don't want to play for Everton, I don't care how old you are. If you don't want to play for us, we don't want you. Get out of the club. So, yeah, Thierry Small's gone. And I think Everton are going to be paid like some compensation fee after he ripped up the contract. So we'll be making some money off of him. So, which is what we need because, we can't afford a right back. That's that. And, yeah, that's all the Everton news I have for today. That's all, I got to say. Again, hopefully Everton can, beat Huddersfield Town tomorrow. I'm excited for the game. Nervous, but excited as usual for every Everton game. So yeah, that's all I got to say about today. Thank you for joining me on the JP Football Podcast. And again, if you're enjoying these videos, please leave a like and please subscribe. Turn on your bell notification so you don't miss another video about Everton and what else is going on in the footballing world. And yeah, spread the word about the podcast. It and the channel, it means so much to me, guys, when you do that. So thank you very much. Oh, and on a really quick note, just before we end, Jose Mourinho's Roma won 3-1 the other day in Italian Serie A. So yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, thank you so much. And yeah, spread the word about the JP Football Podcast, and I will see you later. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.